game rivalry has been interesting, from Sonic and Mario, the PlayStation Nintendo, to Fallout 76 and Genshin Impact. I'm not sure if that last one does exist. Anyways, what if I told you that Earthworm Jim could count as a potential rival with Donkey Kong, and Shiny Entertainment and Rare could have been in this as well, and today I thought I'd talk about both groups and their games, hypothetically. So around the early 90s, a bunch of guys from around the world with different talents and skills got together and formed Shiny Entertainment, and Playmates did somewhat help them out with the goal to make a character that they could make a video game and toy line of, after the success of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle franchise, and that's basically the story in a nutshell. Around this time, a group known as Rare, who's been around since the 80s, bought Silicon Graphics to make 3D renders, and Nintendo went to Rare and asked them to make a game to revive Donkey Kong series. Around this time, Doug Snable was tasked to make an alien-like character with a walk cycle. This then led to the creation of Earthworm Jim, and the group started to make a game based off of that character. During this in late 1993, Donkey Kong Country was in development, thus leading us to 1994. Earthworm Jim and Donkey Kong Country were shown off around spring and summer of 1994, with Earthworm Jim getting some hope, and with Donkey Kong Country getting some hype and promotions. It's either August or October of 1994, Earthworm Jim came out on both Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, and got a lot of awards for being a good game. In November of 1994, Donkey Kong Country came out on Super Nintendo and got tons of awards. In this case, both franchises were successful, and this sort of story kinda takes a strange but theoretical turn. It seems like Shiny and Rare found out about each other and may or may not have been jealous. In this case, we go to the year 1995, the year of Saturn, PlayStation, Nintendo 64's reveal, Sonic Extreme, oh wait no, that was cancelled, Josta. Man, I wish I had Josta. Anyways, Earthworm Jim Special Edition came out on Windows 95 computers and a Sega CD/Mega CD add-on. In this case, this version adds a revamped soundtrack, new areas and levels, and more stuff. Anyways, there's a bunch of new cheat codes they introduced. Watch my cheat codes video if you're interested in seeing how many there are. Anyways, in this case, if you're playing on Windows 95, don't worry, I have the specific cheat written down on screen, but if you're playing the Sega CD version, this is the cheat code. If you type in down and C at the same time, B A A A A A B C B A A A A A B C, this should swap Earthworm Jim's head for Donkey Kong's head, but with an arrow through it. And for some odd reason, which it literally is kinda odd, it makes you wonder why they would do this. Anyways, later that year, Shiny would start working on Earthworm Jim 2 and would show it off at E3 1995. But guess who else was there? That's right, Ashley. Diddy Kong and whatever Dixie's supposed to be. They were both being showed off at E3 of that year. In this case, Donkey Kong Country 2 was also being shown off at E3, so kinda ironic that Shiny and Rare, both of their games are both being shown off that year. Now we get to Donkey Kong Country 2, since this has a lot more interesting stuff. In this case, we'll get to what Rare had to say about Shiny and about Earthworm Jim wearing DK's head as a mask. In this case, if you look at Wrinkly Kong's book, it says some interesting words that we can't really see, but we could assume it says, Diddy Kong's Quest is the best game in the world, out for more games from Rare. Jimmy's Worm Pie. Take one ugly worm, squash it underfoot, half-bacon oven, add groovy gravy. Don't expect to sell many, as worms are very unpopular. Which, if that's what they're trying to say, that's straight up savage, not gonna lie. The second thing is in the mini-game with Swanky Kong. One of the questions he asks you is what the first enemy you see in the first level of the game is. In this case, the answers you can choose are either A, a furry rat, B, a scaly crocodile, or C, an ugly earthworm. And now for the hierarchy on top. In Cranky Kong's video game hero screen that they show you at the end of the game, if you look at the bottom right corner of the screen, you'll see a trash can that says No Hopers. And not only do you see Sonic the Hedgehog's shoes there, but also Earthworm Jim's Plasma Blaster. And that's basically it, since there isn't that much evidence or jokes that they show off later on, since it seems like both companies would stop mocking each other in their games. But yeah, I'm not even sure this was a rivalry. The only ones that know about this would either be the Rare or Shiny members. Could most likely assume that they did have a rivalry due to their game's success, and also because of the amount of times they mocked each other in each other's games. But at the end of the day, at least I could sip a can of Joss. Oh crap, I forgot it doesn't exist anymore.